Hello, and welcome to another new episode of the Homeschool Well podcast. It's Kim and Jenny both here today again,
Hello.
and we hope that you are enjoying this series on homeschooling made easy. We hope that it's simplifying your life because that's the whole point.
Yes.
All of the tips we've been sharing for the last several weeks are from this pre-recorded workshop for our community of moms. And we're giving you these easy, simple strategies for everyday success because we know you need them and they're going to help you. And this week, we're focusing on the Be Well section of the workshop, specifically tips and hacks related to like chores and meals and your everyday, like normal life. Because you're still doing that.
Yeah.
While you have like your teacher hat on one side of your head, and on the other side of your head, you've got your chef's hat. And your back of your head, you've got your laundry, and I got to clean the house still hat.
And these are the hardest things in my life. These were the hardest things to keep up with.
It's so easy to get caught up with, well, for me, it always was, to get caught up with, I just got to like do them all at the same time because like I multitasky pro queen.
Yes, you are.
But that will literally, that's the part, in pro tips to stay sane that I needed to undo. Like I needed a better pattern than, I'll just randomly figure out how to do all this at the same time. No, yeah. Because when you're teaching your kids, you have to focus on being a teacher.
Yeah.
And if you're, if you're thinking about
right.
the laundry and the meal, and I still do it, and I'm just homeschooling Wyatt, but like the other day, and I'll tell you this, Jenny, but I left the ground beef on the stove like to cook. Literally it's in the pan, right? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna cook it, it's got a lid on it, and Mark, my husband, was home a couple times in the day. He left super early when it was still dark. He came back at 9, and then when he came back at like 2 and I was about to cook the meat, he was like, Kim, that has been there all day, throw that away. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know that I said that immediately, but I was like, what? It's been there all day. Like, what do you mean? So, I don't know. But that's like, don't leave stuff thinking, oh, I'll start that when I get to it in the middle of like me grading. I'm like grading high school papers now. So, yeah, of course I can't think about when to cook the ground beef in the middle of that, like no, give me a break. You need a plan, right?
And my problem was, for me, I always thought, oh, it'll take no time. No, it does take time. Yes. I always was like, oh, I ran out of time. But things take time. You have to allow time to pay bills, folding laundry, like all
making
that
the dinner.
Stuff. Yes.
Rachel Ray, if you could get dinner made and cleaned up in my house in 30 minutes or less, or whatever her little recipe book was, 30-minute meal plans. Oh,
or
come on, girl.
I mean, even sitting
minutes?
down and planning for the dinner. Like, that's the part I'm like, oh, I'll just figure it out. But I'm like, no, if I'm gonna plan a week's worth of dinners, like I'm making my list Sunday and then I gotta write it down, and I'm like, oh, they just take time. You need these
pro tips. Let's just get into it. Pro tips to stay sane instead of complaining about how crazy it is. Okay, so pro tips to stay sane. The first one is clean as you go. And I love that in the workshop, Jenny reminded me that I was talking about those fantastic T100 $30 calculators.
Oh, mine were like $100. Those calculators.
The calculators that you need for algebra or algebra 2 or whenever the high level math stuff starts. And what happened was, because we didn't clean as we go and organize our school things, and put them back and blah, 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 make sure everything has got its place and we're keeping on top of the things, we lost the amazing. I think, honestly, I've bought 4 of those. Yeah. And every once in a while, still, I will find a part. Like, they have these sliding lids, right? And I'm like, oh, I found a sliding lid. Does it go to this calculator? Like, no, it doesn't. So there's another money wasted. And the one she has now, she has an air tag on it now. So it comes up, like, if it's lost, she knows where it is.
That's awesome.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda, although I don't know that they made those things when we first had the expensive calculator, but definitely for those pricey items, have a secured and regular spot, a dedicated spot for those, and clean as you go. Yeah. As well as with the dishes. I love, Jenny, you tell what you did with your dishes throughout the day.
Well, I would just leave them in the sink. I would do them one time. I didn't do them all day. So this is actually the opposite of clean as you go.
No, but it is because you had a catch-all.
I did. I just threw them out on the sink and then I would
They
have
weren't
time to do it.
around the house. They were not around the house, and you had a plan.
Right.
So you were talking about you couldn't put them in the dishwasher because the dishwasher was full because what was the plan with the clean dishes in the dishwasher?
Because we would do our chores after we would do school. So once 3 o'clock came, it was time to reset. But the problem with like not,
Love that.
what I wouldn't do is that I wasn't making my kids clean as they go sometimes until I got better at that. So by 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock would come and I'd look around the house and be like, I'd be tired and I feel like I'm going to fall apart. And I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
this place is a disaster. Now I got to get
But that's
dinner. Yeah,
that's the teachable moment. That's where,
correct.
it just you're not going to immediately do this
Right. I
perfectly
got
every
better.
day,
No.
but at least you had a system. You had the sink where, as we eat and we have dirty
Yeah.
dishes, we put them in the catch-all in the sink. And then at 3 o'clock when we start our chores, somebody's
Right.
job is to take the clean dishes, put them away,
Right.
and then maybe put the dirty dishes in, or someone else does that. I don't know. But you have a system
I did.
to clean as you go, even if it's a catch-all,
Yeah.
right?
Right. So,
Perfect.
yeah.
And the second one is using meal and snack times to your advantage for learning. And I love this. I'm going to let Jenny talk about this because she's done it's great.
Yes, this was one way we stayed sane so that we didn't have to drag things out the whole day and that my boys would be quiet. During breakfast, we would do our devotional. That's when we would do our stuff together. So they were eating, they were quiet. We would either listen to something on Keys for Kids or we were reading something out of a book. And they were chewing, they were busy with their hands, and so they were not being silly or interrupting. It was a good time for them to just listen. And we also,
Absorb as they're
yes,
absorbing their nutrition.
that's
They're
right.
absorbing their brain food.
Sometimes during lunch or snack, I would read something to them. I think sometimes we would do history during lunch. Sometimes we would listen to a book, like a read aloud on Audible or something during lunch so I could take a break and eat too. But we used our meals definitely during the day to optimize our time, and it helped them stay focused.
And I love that you did tea times.
Yeah, we would get poetry out. We didn't do tea. I have two boys. We did poetry parties is what we called it. So I got it from an idea, the Brave Learner lady. She would do poetry tea times, but I have two boys, so we would call them poetry parties. And I would break out all of our poem books and some like Shel Silverstein and then some like Walt Whitman, and we would have snacks every week, special snacks, different snacks every week.
That's the key right there, baby.
Yep.
Special snacks.
They were excited for the
boys.
poetry party because we were having like Pepsi and popcorn with our poetry or
Oh,
whatever. Yeah. Or pretzels
fun.
and something else. So yeah, I with boys, like it's food. You always have to
Always
have food.
As
At
they
least
get
for my
older.
family. Yeah.
Food binds the relationship so
Yes.
much. And so, yeah, poetry parties, but the special snacks is going to get them to open the poetry book.
Yeah, it did.
I love that. So good.
Another thing that really helped me when I finally got my stuff together and could like think after I'd started homeschooling a little bit was to plan a little bit ahead and double my meals so that I could either freeze half of it or eat on leftovers in different ways for the rest of the week or for a couple days at least. In fact, Kim laughs at me because just recently she said she made meatloaf in her house, and apparently her house doesn't eat very much, but I live with 3 men.
No, listen, they're horrible at leftovers, and I've got
Oh,
2 men here. 2 men, because my
okay.
daughter's at college, and she
Right.
and I, we will eat something forever. Like if there's
Yeah,
soup, and we will eat
me
it for
too.
5 days till it's gone. But these
Yeah,
guys are suddenly leftover, not suddenly,
they're
they've been
picky.
leftover snobs. And since my girl's not here, I'm like, it's so frustrating. So I made this 1 pound meatloaf. I actually took a picture of it and sent it to her because I had like more than half of it was left. It was ridiculous. And
You
yeah,
sent it to me.
sometimes, yeah, I
Right.
sent it to Jenny because she sent me her meatloaf that she was making. And also, sometimes my 2 guys don't eat that much at dinner time. So she sent me her picture, and I'm going to let her explain how she made her meatloaf that week because this was just hysterical to me.
Well, she was saying I've had this meatloaf sitting here and no one will eat it. And I said, "Oh my gosh, my people just told me one of my best meals that I cook is meatloaf." And so I'm like, "Okay, I'm going to cook it." And the last time I made 4 pounds of it and it lasted like 2 days. And we like to eat meatloaf sandwiches. So this time I made 6 pounds of
It was the
meatloaf.
biggest
It
bowl
was it
of meat I've
was
ever seen.
so
She sent me,
gross.
right, the raw meat that you had mixed up in this like
Yeah, to the
giant
top
mixing
of a
bowl.
bowl. I
Did
know.
you say 6 pounds of meat?
It was 6 this time. And we
Okay.
finished it in about 4 days. They came home and would just eat huge hunks of it for
I
lunch.
love them. 4 days
Yeah.
in a row of meatloaf eating. But maybe it
Well,
was
not
just
for dinner.
lunch.
That
Yeah,
wasn't dinner.
right. You still have
That
to
was
make a
only
dinner.
lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. We make
Whew.
dinner every night pretty much because I feel like we have nothing left, or by the next day everything's gone.
You got the
So
grown men up in
I
there.
know. So anyway, but if you're homeschooling, like if you're gonna make a meal, why not make it double duty? Either freeze it, bank it so you could pull it out later when you have forgotten to plan dinner, or just eat on it, plan ways that you can eat on it the rest of the week. That
Yeah.
was really helpful to me when I finally could think about doing that.
Also, when you're shopping, planning ahead to keep your pantry stocked, especially when there's BOGOs, buy one, get one free spaghetti in the box, buy four, keep them in there. You're going to eat spaghetti. Get the sauce when it's on sale, keep four back. Keep on top of having things in your refrigerator. If there's frozen meals on sale or BOGO, that goes a long
Emergencies.
way.
Yeah.
Or like a lunch or something.
Yeah,
I like those protein
totally.
bowls. My boy loves that.
Hmm.
Anyway, banking, freezing, leftovers, keeping your pantry stocked, staying one step ahead of
Right.
that is always a
Right.
good idea. And the last point is to have a plan for dinner before, I don't know, 3 o'clock p.m. on that day.
Yeah. Yeah. Try to wake up and think about it.
Or,
It's the worst.
write down 5 simple meals that you're going to cook that week, or
Right.
3 meals and then you're having leftovers a couple times, or you're,
Yes.
doing a leftover and then you're going to get like a deal pizza night.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Some of the
And
grocery
like,
stores, $5 pizza.
yeah, that's right. And like you said, always having something as a backup on hand. Like one of our emergency meals when I would forget to make dinner was BLTs. We usually had the lettuce, but sometimes we didn't have the tomato. So it was
We're
just,
having
so it
the
was either
BT
like
tonight.
a
Remember the
bacon
BL,
salad or
right?
a BLT with no
Look,
tea.
as long as you got
Yeah.
that bacon in there, and
No.
somebody
Yeah, they
needs
were
to maybe
happy with
come
it.
home. Yeah, this is when you have teenage drivers. You're like, go to the store and get me a lettuce, or,
That's right.
Hubs bring something home. Or, right,
Yeah.
you just modify it and you be flexible, and everybody learns to
Right.
compromise and make a new meal.
Breakfast breakfast for
It's fun.
dinner.
Oh
We
gosh,
did
breakfast for
and
dinner. I love
charcuterie
it.
board. Yeah, we did do charcuterie board a couple times, but that was like I just put out lunch meat and cheese and fruit.
Yes.
That was our dinner.
That's a charcuterie board, girl. I used to love
I
ice cream
know.
and popcorn nights. When Mark used to work Thursday nights, I'd be like, all right, we're
Yeah.
doing ice cream and popcorn. That's
Right.
not all the time because that's not nutritious, but I mean, what
Yeah.
are you going to do?
That's
Um,
right.
do you shop at Aldi? If you are Aldi shoppers,
Yeah.
Aldi is like the budget friendly version of Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
I think they're owned by the same company. They have a whole end cap that's like the charcuterie board
So
section,
good. I know.
right?
And
Oh,
especially during the holidays, they come out with all this
yes.
really amazing,
Great.
beautiful food. It's
And
wonderful.
cheese. Yeah. Oh, I
We
have
might
their
have that next week.
charcuterie
We were
board. Yeah. I
talking
mean,
about it. I'm like, oh,
well, and it's when you said you put out lunch meat and cheese, just go to that end cap at Aldi, or if you don't have Aldi, I'm sorry. So something like,
I think
but
everyone does.
it's a
Yeah.
different, it's like, it's not even higher end because it's not that more expensive at Aldi, especially, but it's
Hmm.
just like a special snack. Like when you're talking about the special snacks for
Right.
poetry time, what was it called? Poetry parties.
Yeah.
But the pickles that are really, really teeny, and they have the little celery seed, it all just
Yeah.
is a little bit swankier. And so it makes a
Yeah. And
fun
eat it with a fancy
presentation.
toothpick. Yeah.
Yeah, and the
It can be
presentation
really
on your
fun.
cutting board, and
Hmm.
some nice different crackers. But just, I don't know what. We must be hungry. Is it been dinner time? We're going on about
It's
this
dinner
one.
time. I'm hungry.
It
Yes. We
sure
need to
is.
stop.
I need a charcuterie board.
We're beating a
So,
dead horse here. Yes.
yeah, meal planning has become such a business. Like there are businesses and free resources everywhere. you can find for meal planning. So utilize those.
Yeah.
If you don't want to use a little company or some mom on Instagram or TikTok, that tells you a good idea for meal plans, ask your friend. So, like my friend Evelyn, who has 6 kids and she's pregnant with her 7th kid. Yay!
Right.
I'm like, girl, what are you making for your family this week? And I'm like,
Yeah.
literally, just show me your list. And and her ideas aren't extravagant either. It's all like different ways to make chicken or ground beef,
Right. Yeah.
nachos, chili. It doesn't have to be extravagant, just having something written down and planned. And you can put that in your plan book because then it's right there and you're seeing
Good
it all
idea.
day. And yeah, right. So
Hmm.
it's on hand. Like the point is that nothing can bring a homeschool mama more dread, I think, than it being like you hear the clock ticking in your head to dinner and it's like duh, duh, duh. And if you
Yeah.
don't have a plan, you're like, what am I gonna do? It's like you're slowly falling in this pit and you have to go spend more money on fast food takeout that's bad for your whole
Yeah.
family. So
Right.
just having some kind of a plan, and I'm so convicted. I always need to refine my dinner plans and be joyful about the fact that I get to have dinner with my family.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome. That's a good
all of these
mindset.
things,
Hmm.
yeah, that this whole thing, like, yes, we get to clean up as we go, right? We get to have meals and snacks while we're learning things. We get to double our recipe and we get to plan our
Hmm.
meals.
Yeah, it's a good mindset.
I'm very convicted by that. Thank you, friends, for helping me. And I hope these helped you.
Yeah. I mean, just
And
going over them helped me again. I'm like, oh, I could do better. Yeah.
yeah. And when you're really in the trenches and you've got those littles that you're schooling day in and day out, it's definitely probably the most important time to keep up with your dinner plans and keep
Yeah.
everything stocked up in that pantry and that freezer so you can just do a quick grab if you need to.
That's right. Keep yourself sane.
All right, so obviously we're going to go eat and we hope you have a great dinner tonight.
Yes.
And look for our next episode next Tuesday on this Be Well topic, self care next week.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one.
Mama love is so important.
Take care of yourself.
Yep. Take care of yourself and tune in next week for that episode. But in the meantime, we are cheering you on and you're doing
All
great
right.
things. Homeschool mom, keep it up and we'll see you soon. Bye
Okay.
bye.
Bye.